Apologize. It's supposed to be live here at 12 noon. It's actually 12:16 p.m. Eastern time, so I'm just coming live. I apologize for being late on this. I was stuck in a meeting, but it was all good stuff to help you guys further your success in your business. But today I did want to come in and talk about student loans. I've gotten a lot of phone calls from other credit repair organizations who I've taught the student loan process on how to dispute correctly. Come in and just call me and tell me thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So I wanted to bring this to you guys again. I know I had a quick live not too long ago with Ashley Deal. We talked a lot about student loans and the effects of student loans on credit reports and how you as a CRO can help those consumers. So I want to go back to that just for a second and talk specifically about the dispute process for student loans. So one of the things that most of you should know, if you're having clients right now who are having that streaming those lates, right, and it's saying 90 days late and then it's 120 days late. Well, that is inaccurate reporting. So we already know that, right? Because you can't have a 90-day late before you have a 30-day late. So that is your in for the dispute process when you have a consumer who comes to you, their score's been dropped 100 points because they got a 90-day late. So the recommendation that I would have you do at this point in time is to write a letter to the student loan servicing company. So if you're looking at the credit report and it says Nelnet, that's who you would be sending the dispute to, not the credit bureaus. Okay. So you're going to be sending it straight to the creditor. And this is what I call disputing the right way. Okay. So what you would do is you would send a letter to that creditor and say, hey, I've reviewed my credit report. And upon reviewing my credit report, I see that you hit me with a 90-day late, but there was no 30 or 60-day late. I'm requesting this to be reviewed. This is inaccurate reporting. And that's pretty much all you have to say in that whole process. And typically you're going to get a letter back from that servicing company saying that they've removed that from the credit report. Now, one thing that I want you to keep in mind is that when you do that, almost 100% of the time, the entire trade line comes off of the credit report altogether. Okay. That can actually be a hindrance to the process for them and their credit score because sometimes student loans are the longest history a consumer has. Okay. But if it's negative history, obviously having it removed could be helpful. But if they have no other history, it could be damaging in that respect too. So be careful with what you do. But if you do get it removed entirely and you need that depth of credit file, the recommendation would be that they make payments on it, and hopefully we'll see the account come back on with the good standing payments and no lates on it. All right, so that would be the goal. Something else that you should keep in mind is, again, you're going to dispute directly to the creditor. So know who that servicer is. You're going to mail that letter to the creditor. One of the things I do recommend, if you are a CRO and you are not having your consumers mail out the letter, that you have some kind of authorization that you back up that letter with. Okay, that's really important. Now, if anybody is disputing to the credit bureaus at any point in time, regardless of the student loans or whatever, you should always be having your consumer mail those letters out. They are much more effective and they need to be mailing them from their city and state that they live in. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. So student loans, very important. Before even do the dispute process, I am going to highly recommend that you first is make sure you talk to your consumer to contact their servicer and get their payments on track. So there is an area where they can get help with that. So I've had my clients call and they end up putting them back into a forbearance for a short period of time so they can get back into a good place. So make sure that your consumers are calling to get that. Okay. Even if they don't have the cash to pay the past due amount, if they get it into a forbearance, then they're good. Okay. So have them do that first and then you do that dispute process. Okay. It's not going to help them if you get a 90-day late off of their credit report, but then they continuously go late because they didn't handle the problem. The problem needs to be handled first before you do the dispute. Okay. I hope that helps make sense of all that. I'm late for this live, so I apologize. I'm sure there was a lot of people who wanted to be on here with me and ask me questions. But if you do have questions about the student loan process, please put those in the comments and I will be sure to answer those for you. So quick little tip, I do teach a class on how to dispute correctly, and not just with the student loans, but with creditors in general. So if you are interested in that class, we will put a link in the comments for that class so that you can purchase it. It is a 2-hour class. I do give you all like what I call my toolkits of information that you can use to help you make this happen. But there are better ways to do it than doing it to the credit bureaus. I'm not a big fan personally. I've been doing credit repair for 23 years, and I'm not a big fan of doing disputes to the credit bureaus unless I need to set it up for litigation purposes. Otherwise, my best results have come from directly to the creditor. That's when I get paper in hand. All of you guys know that I've been in the mortgage industry for the same amount of years as I've been in the credit industry. So for me, that piece of paper is gold. So credit bureau paper saying we updated it or we deleted it is not a great, it doesn't help me at all in the mortgage world. But that letter from the creditor telling me what they're going to do is like gold, right? And so that's the why I do it that way. And I tend to have better and faster results than most credit repair companies because of the process that I do. So you can learn more if you purchase that class, but I'll give you a little secret tip. I don't dispute. So you'll have to learn what that means when you do the class on disputing right. But I don't use the word dispute. So that's my secret. And you'll learn why I say that and what I actually do to get the results that I get for my consumers in order to improve their credit scores. But the biggest tip I can tell you today with the student loans, dispute directly to the creditor. You're disputing that they're not accurately reporting to the credit report. You can't have a 90 before you have a 30 and 60. Okay. So they're not accurately reporting. And I can assure you, and I have a lot of testimonials that I'm sure will come here soon. I'm asking people to put videos together to show you that this actually does work. And I have 100% success rate with my clients on doing it. So enjoy that process. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here for you. And thank you for watching this live. And I'm not sure what my top tip is going to be next month or next week, but you'll have to stand by and see. But I will post a couple days before that of what that tip will be. Maybe it's something about freezing secondary reports, maybe. That's been a hot topic. I've heard a lot of comments and stuff about that process and if it's beneficial, if it's not, should you not. That might be my next top tip Tuesday. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. Thank you as always. I'm here to help you be more successful.